All right. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Audie, and I am your host, Audie. So for everybody who shared, who liked, who subscribed, that helped me in terms of reaching that goal last week, I am gratefully humbled and appreciative for all the hard work and energy that each and every one of you guys that went out and shared and tried to help me to get to the goal, which was 100 subscribers before my birthday, which was last week Wednesday. I am forever indebted to you. So thank you. So now we are currently over 100 subscribers, and for that, I don't even know what to say. It's like, god damn, it's like, whoa! Small steps, baby steps, but baby steps keep you moving forward. So guys, let's continue to move forward as I continue to do my best to bring in content and ensuring that you guys are fulfilled, educated, and entertained. So let's get into it. Is this you? I'm hungry. I want something to eat. What should I eat today? Someone comes and asks you, what do you want to eat? I don't know, but I know I'm hungry. Or maybe this is you. I'm feeling like watching something today. What should I watch? You find yourself scrolling for 30 plus minutes trying to decide on one show, but still hasn't necessarily made a decision yet. Maybe it's something more serious, where you have to decide in terms of a relationship that you want to stick into and trying to weigh the pros and cons in terms of staying in a relationship. Or this could be you in terms of trying to decide in terms of which career or which job you're going to go ahead and choose. Or this could be you trying to decide in terms of which college or which major that you are going to pursue. Or maybe it's something in terms of deciding whether or not you should get up and leave your current situation in terms of the city, the state, or wherever it is that you are in, to move to somewhere else to see if you can find a better means of living, a better way of living. So I feel as though in terms of humans, we all come into contact with having to make a very vital decision. And no matter what the options are, the decision has to be made. If you're someone like me, for example, who tend to kind of, just let things ride and hoping that as time passes, then, it's going to deal with itself. Usually, sometimes it does. But the thing is that when you do not make that decision, then you leave it up for someone else to make the decision for you, and therefore you feel as though you had no power in regards to making a decision. But that's what you did. Not making a decision is making a decision. Just keep that in mind. I say that for some of you on the back. Some of you on the back that, sleep in the back of the classroom. Not making a decision is you making a decision. So whether you feel as though you can just sip it under the rug and feel as though as time passes, it's just not going to bother you anymore, it's still you making a decision by not making one. How do we decide? How do we go about making decisions when these things are ingrained in our everyday life that we have to decide? Whether should I take the bus, should I drive to work, should I take the usual route that I have to usually take to work? Should I eat breakfast? Should I not? Should I go to lunch with this person? Should I actually put in this extra minute for me to get this work done? All of these things, and these things lead to decision fatigue, which is pretty much you not having a routine in place that helps you in terms of making things easier, but then you have to sit down and think about every single decision without necessarily making it automatic for you to not having to think about it so much. And decision fatigue is real because the more you use the prefrontal cortex, which is your rational brain, your thinking brain, the more tired you get, the more likely it is that you're going to fall in terms of your bad habits, and you're going to make the wrong decision the more decisions you have to make. So the best decisions, always please guys, when you have to make a decision on how to decide, the most grave situation, or the most one that have the most potency in terms of how well they're going to affect you today, tomorrow, and even further into the future, make sure you do them the first thing in the morning, when you haven't necessarily made one decision yet, except the decision to make this decision, and that's it. So, how to decide? So the thing is that in making decisions, you have to appeal to both your logical mind and your emotional being. Yes, I know people say, okay, well, I'm rational, I think, You know, I'm more, you know, it's like if it's this, then that, then therefore if it makes sense logically, then I'm gonna choose it. But no, when it comes to decision making, we do not rationally go about in terms of making our decisions. We tend to kind of rely on emotions most of the time. We as human beings are emotional junkies, so therefore most of the things that we decide to do are gonna be based on how we feel. You always say, I don't feel like doing this today, so therefore I'm not gonna do it. I don't feel like washing this. I don't feel like working out. But it's like, you know, you should be doing these things because it makes sense in terms of if you think about it. But why is it that if it makes sense thinking about it, why don't you just go and do it? It's like it's not just the thinking aspect of it that needs to look right. The feeling must also drive you to making sure that you go ahead and make this decision. So I feel as though the best decision makings would be the fact is that if you are triggered emotionally by something and it makes you feel good, then that's a good sign that, okay, well, that's the direction that you need to go into. But don't jump into it yet, because that feeling can lead you astray. Then once that feeling starts leading you towards this thing, then you bring your rational mind into it and you go ahead and make sense out of it and seeing how best it is that it's gonna help you. So best decisions are made when rational and emotions meet at a certain point, which I just like to call solving a simultaneous equation. They find a point of intersection. Sorry guys, no, I deal with math, but you know, you find a point of intersection where emotions and rational or logic and intersect each other, and that point of intersection is likely that's the best decision that you're going to make, no matter what the circumstances may be, whether or not you are going to look at the weighted average distribution in terms of you trying to weigh out the pros and the cons and seeing which one works best. But even with that, if your feelings don't drive you to actually do it, then it's not going to get done. So for example, seeing that, you know, we are in the second month of the new year, I'm sure a lot of people in January, they're like, okay, well, new year, I'm going to be a new me. I'm going to work, I'm going to go hard in the gym, I'm going to eat right, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 right. Where are you currently right now in the month of February? I'm pretty much sure a lot of you guys are not on the same thing in terms of what you guys thought was going to be the best thing to do. I'm not on y'all, right? But but the thing is that you got to understand, it's like with the rational aspect of it and determined fatigue and your emotions are not driving you in order for you to actually get this thing done, then it's likely that you are not at the position that you need to be. So the thing is, what I would recommend in terms of if you want to go ahead and go to the gym, work out, wherever it is you want to do, and also eat properly, the best thing for you to do is that, you know, I think in terms of meal planning, it will help in terms of decision fatigue. Because the thing is that, let's just say, you decide to say, okay, well, I'm going to go to the gym today. You go to the gym, you put in that workout, I don't know, half an hour, whatever length y'all do. I think it's like an hour y'all say, but I usually do 30 minutes. But y'all do your hour to 2 hour workouts in the gym, and y'all come home, it's like, ain't nothing to eat. And you're like, okay, I don't have nothing home to eat, so I'm going to stop the McDonald's, Wendy's, or whatever the fast food restaurant it is, and I'm just going to buy me a burger. It's like all that work you just put in the gym just went out the door. And then 3 months later, you're like, I'm not seeing any results. And you're like, yeah, of course you're not going to see results, because you're putting the same calories in your body what you just took out, plus more. So of course you're not going to see any results. So please, in terms of helping yourself to help you, in terms of when you get to that particular position, put things in place that's going to help you to limit the amount of decision that you need to do. If it's whether or not you got to do a meal, go ahead, meal prep, put the meal aside, do it for lunch, dinner, or whatever it is. Even if it's just for dinner, just do it. If you know you're going to go to the gym, I don't know, put on your workout shoes. I don't know, put your workout clothes underneath your work clothes so that when you get to the gym, you just Hulk is out. We time to work out. But you know, I'm being like entertaining or being very, you know, obnoxious. But these little things that you put in place to help you limit the amount of decisions that you make, whether or not if I should go or if I shouldn't go, then you got to go ahead and do those, put in that work, because the work that you feel as though is not necessary, it's going to be necessary in the long run. So you might as well just put it in and help yourself in the long run. When you only think about something rationally in terms of your decision making, you tend to leave out the human aspect of it, which is that we are feelings driven. And if your feelings are not in alignment to what it is that you have to do, you are going to have the worst time ever trying to make sense, or even feeling motivated or encouraged and driven and fulfilled by what it is that you want to accomplish, because your feelings help you in terms of keeping you driving, keeping the drive going for you to go further. And the thing is that you are going to need the humans the people in your lives that help you in terms of making sure that you get that particular goal. So incorporating the people that you have in your life in terms of the decision making that you want to make is going to help you in the long run. Yes, their input and the insight in terms of what it is you want to decide is going to help you have a overall picture in terms of what you want to do. But the thing is that what you don't want to do is let someone go ahead and make that decision for you. In terms of helping you make a decision, please, yes, you already have your mind made up in terms of what you want to do. But in addition to that, please don't lie to the people and tell them you don't know what you want to do, because since you already know what you want to do, it's that you just want to find the people who are in alignment or will actually conform to the bias that you already have in terms of the decision, to seeing if they will tell you what exactly you already have pre-programmed. So when friends ask me, Adi, what do you think I should do about this? I don't know, you already know what you want to do, so just go ahead and do it, because no matter what I say, it's not going to change the decision that you already made in your head. So don't waste my time. But yes, it may sound mean, but it's just my way of telling them that they should go ahead and trust the instinct and the gut feeling that they have, because the exposure and the experience that they had in terms of whatever it is that they are dealing with is more than I know. But it's like my insight will also help them. So I just pretty much tell them what my insight is, what I think about it. And I don't necessarily tell them if it's a yes or no, or affirmative or a negation in terms of the answer they're looking for. I just give them my insight and I leave it up to them in terms of the decision making. And so the thing is that whenever we do decide to do anything, there will always be repercussions in terms of the decision that we've made. You cannot not live two paths that had gone to different forks in the road. I wish someone had told me this at an early age. It's like, if you decide A and negate B, you will have regrets in terms of not doing B. No matter what it is, no matter how well A turns out, you will always have in the back of your mind, it's like, what if I did B? Like, how much different would my life be? But even if you're taking B, then you would have been like, what if I chose A? Maybe A would have been better. And that's the beauty about decision making, is that there are no free lunch. There will never be any free lunch when it comes to decision making, because you will always be giving up some opportunity cost in terms of the decision that you decide on. And opportunity cost is just a human factor in terms of us making sure that whatever you decide, you cannot keep going back and forth. Whatever road you are on, you have to stay on that road for as long as possible. And then once you realize that you hit the point where, like, I don't want to be on this road, then you are going to have to diverge. And by diverging, you leave the opportunity that you was already started to start another opportunity. And so that's the part of having no free lunch, because free lunch is that you're thinking that, okay, because I'm doing A, I can always dip into B. But no, you cannot dip into B already when you're doing A, because A has already taken most of your time. And by going to B, you are negating how well you can actually do A by actually dipping into B. For example, I don't know, it's like deciding to go off to school. The friends, your family, it's like, you are not going to be there to experience some of the things that they experience, and they're not also going to be there to experience some of the things that you are experiencing, because it's like, you want to be there, but you can't be there. It's like, you are so inundated and so into your books and whatever it is, the life that you were creating in a different country or different state, different city, I don't know what it is, but it's like, making a decision to actually go ahead and better yourself in terms of education, it's going to actually leave you with a disconnect from your family members, your friends, and the ones that actually didn't go on this journey with you. So now it's like, when you're trying to relate to them and certain things that they actually made in terms of life milestones, you can no longer relate and can no longer understand things from their perspective, and they no longer can understand the things from your perspective. So then, by you actually making this decision to go ahead and pursue your dreams, the feeling in terms of taking in consideration their feelings and your feelings, and the rational aspect of knowing that this venture will likely put you and your family in a better position, is coming at an opportunity cost where that you are going to feel disconnected and not being able to be there for the people that you want to be there. And you're going to sacrifice so much wonderful family experiences, so much milestones in your family life, your friends' lives, and even in your life, your friends are not going to be able to actually be there for some of your milestones. So it's like, that's an opportunity cost that nobody ever told us that in terms of making a decision to help better ourselves, that in this betterment, we are going to be leaving the people that we love behind and not being there for them to the best of our ability to help and support them and nurture them and give them that hug and that kiss and whatever that they may need in the time that they may be experiencing something. And even when you possibly may need that, they're not going to be there for you to hold your hands or even hug you and kind of just give you that warmth and that love that you and that connection that you need in that moment that you need it. But that's the opportunity cost that you're going to have to take in terms of the sacrifice you're going to have to make when it comes to knowing that you want to escape a situation that you no longer feel as though is beneficial for you, and you need to go outside of the comfort of what it is that you've been stuck in terms of the environment. So just keep that in mind when you are making decisions, that the feelings of those people around you are going to be affected, even though you have made the optimal decision for yourself in terms of moving forward with something that makes sense and feels good. So guys, I don't know, even sitting there today I was trying to figure out what the hell I was going to talk about, but I guess I was a part of How Do I Decide, and I guess this was the one that made more sense and also felt right for me to actually come and talk about. Whether I did a good job on it, that's up for you guys to decide. But at the end of the day, once you make a decision, you are in charge of how that decision turns out. Because as long as you are in that decision, then you are going to be the one that helps to make the best out of the decision. If you even made it this far and learned and heard that, then I want to say it again. When you make that decision, as long as you are a part of that decision and you made the decision and nobody else made it for you, you have the power to influence the outcome of that decision. And if you decide not to make a decision, you not making the decision is indeed a decision itself. So stop sitting on your butt and pushing things under the rug and thinking that they are going to just disappear eventually. Because the toughest decisions are going to be tough. That's why they call it tough decisions. If there was easy decisions, we say they were easy decisions. But I don't ever hear anybody say anything with easy decision. Decision are decision, whether they're hard or easy, I don't know, but they're just decisions. So just go ahead and try to determine which one is feeling right and which one makes more sense in terms of you writing it down and looking at it objectively. And by doing so, it's likely that you are going to make the best decision at the end of the day. So guys, with that said, thank you all for tuning in. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, and then who knows, if you guys have any insight or any suggestions as to what the next topic should be, go ahead and drop it in the comment. I would love to see what you guys are thinking about and what it is that you guys would love for me to go ahead and express and try to give my insight into in terms of certain topics that you guys have pondering on your minds and would like to see me discuss on this channel. So please guys, thank you all. With that said, this is bring us to the end of the episode. Peace, love, and enjoyment. Deuces, I'm outie. Until the next time, see you guys next week. See you stay.